Every single day, thousands of people wake up to more hair on their pillow than the night before. And it's not genetics, it's not stress, and it's not shampoo. In 2026, doctors finally connected the dots on the real reason. And it's shockingly simple. If you've noticed more hair in your brush, more strands in the shower drain, or a hairline that looks a little further back than it did last year, you are not imagining it. And you are not alone. Millions of people are dealing with the exact same thing right now, in 2026. For years, everyone blamed genetics. Everyone blamed stress. Everyone blamed it's just part of getting older. But new research and real clinical patterns are pointing to something completely different, something so common that most people don't even think to check for it. Today, we're breaking down the actual truth behind the #1 vitamin deficiency linked to hair loss this year, why it's happening to so many people, and what you can realistically do about it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand your hair in a way you never have before. Let's get one thing straight first. Hair loss is not always about genetics. Yes, male pattern baldness and female pattern hair loss are real, and they do run in families. But a huge percentage of hair thinning cases happening right now have nothing to do with your family history at all. This type of hair loss is called telogen effluvium, and it happens when your body pushes hair follicles into a resting phase way too early. Instead of growing, the follicles just stop, and the hair falls out in noticeably larger amounts. The scary part? This can happen even if you're eating what you think is a healthy diet. Because the deficiency we're about to talk about doesn't come from eating badly. It comes from something most people never think to check. Here it is. The deficiency doctors are seeing linked to hair loss more than almost anything else right now is vitamin D deficiency. I know what you're thinking. Vitamin D. Isn't that just for bones? That's exactly why this deficiency has been flying under the radar for so long. Vitamin D doesn't just support your bones and your immune system. It plays a direct role in something called the hair follicle cycle. Your hair follicles actually have vitamin D receptors on them. When those receptors don't get enough vitamin D, the follicles struggle to start new hair growth. It's not that your hair just falls out randomly. It's that new hair simply stops being created the way it should. And here's the number that should concern you. Studies have consistently shown that a huge portion of adults, some estimates put it well above 40%, are walking around with low or deficient vitamin D levels without even knowing it. Combine that with more people working indoors, spending less time in direct sunlight, and relying heavily on sunscreen, and you have the perfect setup for a deficiency epidemic that's quietly wrecking people's hair. Now here's where it gets personal. A lot of people assume hair loss shows up as one obvious sign: bald spots. But that's not how this deficiency usually presents itself. The real symptoms are subtle, and most people brush them off completely. Diffuse thinning across the entire scalp, not just one spot. Hair that feels finer or weaker than it used to. A widening part line that seems to get a little more visible every month. Increased shedding, specifically when you brush or wash your hair. Feeling constantly tired alongside the hair changes, because vitamin D deficiency doesn't just affect your hair, it affects your energy, your mood, and even your immune system at the same time. If 2 or more of these symptoms sound familiar, that's not a coincidence. That's your body sending a signal that something deeper is going on. Let's go a little deeper, because understanding the why makes everything click. Your hair grows in cycles. There's a growth phase, a transition phase, and a resting phase before the hair eventually falls out and a new strand begins. Under normal, healthy conditions, only a small percentage of your hair follicles should be in that resting phase at any given time. But when vitamin D levels drop too low, something goes wrong. The follicles get pushed into the resting phase way earlier than they should, and way more of them enter it at the same time. That's why people with this deficiency often notice a sudden increase in shedding rather than a slow, gradual thinning. It can feel like it came out of nowhere, but really, it's been building for months. This is also why so many people get confused and blame a new shampoo, a stressful week, or a haircut, when the real cause has been sitting quietly under the surface the entire time. So what actually helps? First and most important, this is not medical advice, and you should absolutely talk to a doctor before making any major changes, especially around supplements. But here's what the current research and dermatologists are generally recommending as first steps. Getting an actual blood test to check your vitamin D levels is the single most useful thing you can do, because guessing is where most people go wrong. Spending time outdoors in natural daylight, even just 20 to 30 minutes a few times a week, can make a real difference over time. Including vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified foods in your regular diet can help support your levels naturally. And if a doctor confirms you're deficient, they may recommend a supplement at a dosage that's appropriate specifically for you, because too much of any vitamin can cause its own problems. The key point here is patience. Hair does not regrow overnight. Because of the hair cycle we just talked about, most people don't start seeing real improvement for at least 3 to 4 months after addressing the deficiency. That's not a flaw in the process. That's just how hair biology works. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Hair loss is scary because it feels personal, and it feels permanent. But in a huge number of cases, especially the sudden diffuse thinning that seems to come out of nowhere, the cause is not some rare mystery condition. It's something as simple and as fixable as a vitamin deficiency that never got checked. If you've been blaming yourself, blaming your genetics, or blaming stress this entire time, take this as your sign to actually get tested before assuming the worst. Your hair is often one of the first places your body shows you that something internally needs attention. If this video helped you understand your hair loss a little better, that's exactly what it was made for. Talk to your doctor, get your levels checked, and be patient with the process. Real change takes real time.